Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation on a really important topic: 8 signs it's a trauma bond, not love. On this first slide, we see the title. It's a crucial distinction that can really change how you view your relationships. Today, we'll explore how what feels like deep love might actually be emotional addiction, and how to recognize the signs of a trauma bond. We'll look at the cycle of pain, apologies, and fleeting relief that keeps people stuck, and how the emotional highs and lows can be incredibly confusing. So, let's get started and understand what truly differentiates healthy love from a trauma bond. Now, let's talk about a common mistake we often make in unhealthy relationships: confusing being needed with being loved. In a trauma bond, you might feel important because your partner constantly needs saving, whether it's from her emotions, her past, or her chaos. And it's easy to start believing that your love can somehow heal her pain. But here, the key point: this isn't real intimacy. It's actually dependency. Healthy love is about mutual support, about both people helping each other grow. It's not about emotional rescue. When your sense of worth depends on how much you fix someone, you're not truly in love anymore. Instead, you're caught in a cycle of validation and guilt, trying to prove your worth through fixing others. Recognizing this is crucial in breaking free from these unhealthy patterns and understanding what genuine love looks like. Today, I want to talk about a common mistake many of us make: tolerating disrespect and calling it understanding. Stephan Labossiere emphasizes that you should never accept disrespect from any woman. When you're in a trauma bond, it's easy to rationalize mistreatment by thinking, "She didn't mean it," or "She's just hurt," or even, "If I love her harder, she'll change." But the truth is, every time you accept disrespect, you're unconsciously teaching her that it's okay to treat you that way. Over time, this not only erodes your self-respect, but also diminishes her respect for you. And here's the key point: a relationship without respect can't truly sustain love. What it often becomes is a cycle of control and resentment. So, recognizing and setting boundaries against disrespect is crucial for maintaining a healthy, respectful connection. Let's talk about a common pattern I see in many relationships, which Stephan calls the yes man syndrome. This is when you find yourself constantly agreeing with your partner, not because you genuinely want to, but because you're trying to keep the peace. Often, it's driven by a fear of losing them or facing conflict. So, you say yes when deep down you want to say no, but you're suppressing your true feelings to avoid confrontation. This behavior is especially prevalent in trauma-bonded relationships, where rejection has become a major fear. Disagreements can feel like threats to your safety, so you tend to avoid them at all costs. But here's the important part: healthy love actually requires boundaries. Saying no is a critical way to show where your limits are. It's how you teach someone where you end and they begin, fostering respect and understanding in the relationship. So, learning to express your true feelings, even if that means saying no, is essential for building a strong, healthy connection. When we try too hard to keep her happy, we often start changing ourselves, our opinions, our habits, even our core values, just to stay in her good graces. It might seem like love means sacrificing who you are, but in truth, what you're really doing is erasing your own identity. Stephan warns that this kind of behavior begins to chip away at your masculine energy, which is essential for genuine confidence and respect. Remember, a woman can't truly respect a man who abandons himself just to get her approval. Real love, on the other hand, doesn't demand self-betrayal. It invites authenticity and encourages both of you to grow together. So, staying true to yourself isn't just about self-respect. It's about building a healthy, mutual connection based on honesty. When we don't respect ourselves, it creates a foundation for unhealthy relationships, especially trauma bonds. If you don't believe you deserve better, you might find yourself accepting anything just to avoid being alone. Sometimes, we convince ourselves that chaos equals passion or that mistreatment is just emotional intensity. But as Stephan emphasizes, if you don't value yourself, she won't either. It's a powerful reminder that the respect you expect from others actually starts with how you respect yourself. Remember, the level of respect you demand from others is directly tied to how much respect you have for yourself. That's a crucial concept in understanding how these bonds form and how they can be broken. So on this slide, we're talking about a very dangerous emotional position that many men find themselves in. It's the idea that you fear losing her more than you fear losing yourself. And let's be honest, that's a huge red flag. When you think, I can't live without her, even though the relationship is actually damaging your peace and well-being, that's a sign you're putting her needs above your own. Stephan's advice here is really powerful. Don't be afraid to lose her more than you're afraid to lose yourself. This might sound counterintuitive at first, but it's about valuing your self-worth and mental health over holding onto something that's toxic. Love shouldn't make you beg, chase, or constantly prove your worth. Sometimes, walking away from a toxic relationship costs you the relationship itself, but it's actually a form of liberation. Because in the end, regaining your peace and self-respect is more important than clinging to something that's destroying you. Remember, true love is about mutual respect and growth, never about losing yourself. When you have no vision or purpose beyond the relationship, it can really undermine the foundation of a healthy connection. A trauma bond tends to thrive when your entire identity becomes centered around the other person. You might find yourself stopping your pursuit of personal goals, losing your sense of direction, and essentially making her the center of your universe. Stephan emphasizes something crucial here. A man without purpose quickly loses a woman's respect. Purpose is like your backbone. It provides structure, clarity, and most importantly, self-respect. Without it, you risk becoming emotionally dependent, which is not sustainable in the long run. A woman can love you deeply, but she can't truly admire a man who has abandoned his mission or his sense of self. Remember, maintaining your purpose isn't just about personal growth. It's about preserving your dignity and attracting genuine respect from your partner. This is a key piece of building a relationship based on strength and authenticity. Now, let's talk about an important misconception in trauma bonds. Many people mistake emotional intensity for genuine connection. In these kinds of relationships, the highs can feel euphoric, almost addictive, while the lows are deeply painful. Your brain is actually releasing dopamine during these chaotic cycles of conflict and reconciliation, which makes the pattern hard to break. Because of this, you might start to believe that love has to be dramatic, that peace and stability mean boredom. But the truth is, real love feels safe, steady, and calm. If you only feel truly alive when there's conflict, it's not true chemistry, it's trauma chemistry at play. Now, moving to a sobering truth that Stephan shares. Sometimes, the problem isn't your effort or your choices. It's simply a matter of compatibility. You can be the right person, but if you're with someone who isn't the right match, it won't work. If peace, open communication, and mutual respect are absent, that's not love, that's emotional captivity. And the key takeaway here is, you don't need to fix that relationship. What you really need is to free yourself from it. Breaking the bond with a trauma bond is truly about taking those crucial steps to heal. First, we need awareness. This means recognizing that what we might think of as love is actually emotional dependency. It's important to see past the illusion and understand that this kind of connection isn't healthy or sustainable. Next, boundaries are key. Reclaim your self-respect by learning to say no to anything that destroys your peace or drains your energy. Boundaries help protect your mental health and set the foundation for healing. Then there's purpose. Reconnect with your core mission, your true identity, and your values beyond the relationship. This is about rediscovering who you are outside of the trauma bond, which is essential for genuine healing. Remember, healing isn't about getting that person back. It's about getting yourself back. Real love respects your boundaries, supports your growth, and brings peace. If a relationship costs you your mental health, confidence, or self-worth, it's not love. It's a trauma bond hiding behind love's disguise. So in the end, true love lifts you up, not tears you down. Healing comes from within, from restoring your sense of self and your peace.